All right, so let's move on to question number 2, which is, do you get a contract or you get a pricing back and it's the lowest by far? It almost looks too good to be true. When you compare it to the others, is it really time to pop the champagne and celebrate, or maybe slow down and figure out why that? Because if you have 3 bids and 2 are comparative and the third one is super low,
yeah.
Is it something to get really excited about, or do we really need to dig into that as to what the difference in price might be?
So I would say it's definitely a red flag to dig in deeper. And I think going back to Ken's point there, a lot of, when I say a lot, some contractors like to operate in that gray area. I think that would be a great red flag for that. A contractor comes in 20 or 30% below, but what are they missing? What are they going to hit you with, later on? What did they not have fully developed in their bid? So fully vetting that, it's essential.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said earlier, even for us, typically low bids do not get looked at favorably. Now I understand super low bids, right? If you're way off and we're getting multiple bids, so we're looking at multiple bids. We've got an intense scope review, right? So we're making sure that we're comparing apples to apples. And at the end of the day, if we have, 3 apples there and we've got a very low bid, typically, again, our question is, what's wrong? What are they missing? Not necessarily, all right, pop the champagne. This is great. Maybe, but save the champagne for later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the instance is that, and again, it depends on how far they're off, but the instance is if it is somebody that you worked with in the past and they know your product, if it's multiple clinics and they really know that there is just something unique about that particular build out, maybe it's a type of a finish or just, yeah, it could be anything along those lines, or it could be equipment that, like AC equipment, for example, just the way that it gets spec'd out. But yeah, if the contractor is really familiar with your product, now it also could be on the flip side, they might be a lot higher, so you get 2 lower bids, but the contractor knows going in that we're going to have some problems here, potentially with the building or potentially with just the way that product is, and it's not clear on the architectural plans or the MEPs, then there could be a discrepancy there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and to your point, it's not always a bad thing to be a little bidder. Maybe they know something that the others don't. They understand something that the others don't. So I think it's all, whether it's low bid, high bid, it's all worth a conversation to really dig down and nail down, okay, what is the difference here? Why is there a difference? I mean, sometimes we'd like to think that we catch everything, right? Especially when we're estimating, running through plans. But sometimes those conversations result in things we didn't see, right? So I think it's always good to really nail into it, whether it's low, whether it's high, whether it's way off base, dig into it, figure out why.
Absolutely.
It's all in the details. When we see sub bids that come back and one of them says all electrical light fixtures and gear per plans, and then it gives you the price.
Yeah.
And it's like $350,000 versus the guy that's, hey, I have 2 pages of notes of the inclusions and exclusions, but they might be 15 to 20% higher. Again, there's different train of thought. Some, you're willing to risk it, but many cases, the vagueness doesn't lead to, it doesn't lend itself to having a clear understanding of the scope of work.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And, sometimes that can go either way, right? Sometimes it can be in favor. Sometimes it can be a detriment to the project, right? Just really, I think, and the surefire way to do it is itemize. You nail down into it. But, can you really paint the picture as an owner going in and nailing down every trade, nailing down every piece of every trade, right? That's going to be a difficult task for, say, a doctor or a physician or a dentist that is looking to build a new clinic. Owners reps, sure. The more the business to business, the contractors, it's easier for them to dig into it. So, but yeah.
Yeah. And, and if the owner is up to dealing with that and they want to really be involved and say, yes, I'm going to hire this contractor and I'm going to hold their feet to the fire and do all that, but it doesn't build relationships in the long run. So if it's a one-off, if it's a one-off thing, sure. Can you burn the GC and make it so that this is your contract, this is what you had priced, this is what it is. But like you said, on a $1, $2, $3, $4 million project, you really want to be sure, which is why estimating is so crucial, to make sure we understand the scope going in and everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, absolutely. And generally, contracts generally protect both sides, right? Whoever's issuing the contract probably has some more weight in there, right? But contracts protect both sides, and there are protections in place. But go ahead and try and change contractors midway through your project, right? It's going to create a lot of delays, therefore a lot of extra costs. So that due diligence up front is very, very important.
Yeah, if you're getting to the point where you got to have a different GC come on board halfway through, you got some bigger problems than
from permitting to work completed and agreeing to what's been completed and paid versus what needs to be supplemented and finding a GC that's going to jump into that situation. It's just, there's a lot involved. So, it is a lot of work up front going through that due diligence, but it's important.
Yeah.